What's good? Y'all ready? Let's go. One more time. Y'all already know. Hold on a minute. There we go. There we go. Let's wake up those paws. Let's wake up those paws. And then we gotta shake it off. Doot, 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 doot. What's good, everybody? Y'all know what it is. It's Purple Sunday. That's right, y'all. 2025, the 13th. I'm your boy Bugatti NYC. This here's our bottom line where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. Woo! How everybody doing this morning? This morning under the sound of my voice. It is April the 13th, 2025. Purple Sunday, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know what we do on Sunday. We turn it up on the purple. That's right, the Yerple, y'all. Hope everybody's doing good under the sound of my voice. I know I am. Somebody got their t-shirt coming out as of yesterday. That's right. I think her name is Rebecca. We already packed that up and got it out. She thought I forgot, but I didn't. Hope everybody's having a great day. That's right. Clap it up. Clap it up. Happy belated birthday to Kendra, because we don't forget. We're celebrating for the rest of the month. Hope Batty Lynn is doing good. I see her in here from Detroit, and I got 2 stories lined up for her. So, woo! I'm just going to apologize in the head, Batty, and it's not my fault. It's Detroit. Y'all don't know. Y'all be acting up out there sometime. So I'm going to give this to Detroit. I'm going to give this to St. Louis. And this is going to be a part of Grand Rapids, Michigan right here. So I got a 3-banger combo just to make sure that you guys are straight. I ain't forget about you. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, ain't my fault. I'm sorry. Good morning from Grand Rapids. I already know, Rebecca. I know. I already know. Hope everybody's good. I got my guy up in here from, my people up in here from Florida, Car Care. We missed you yesterday. We missed you yesterday. I know when people don't show up or what's going on. That's like me not showing up. I'd be like, yo, where Bugatti at? Y'all be like, yo, where he at? Because it just don't feel the same without you. I told you. I need you guys to make sure this show goes good. And that's what we've been doing. Because guess what we did? We reached our 30,000 subscriber mark yesterday. And I'm so excited about that. Not only that, what else? Today is our 150th episode. We've been 150 episodes consecutive, back to back to back, and I just want to thank you guys for all the love, all the support. Y'all know I don't want to take too long. I want to get into these titles because you know I like to earn my keep. I'm talking about we got a lot to cover today. The clip is extended. We got a lot to cover. Just want to make sure that you guys understand. I love the support. Thank you guys for always coming through, showing all the love, all the new people. Thank you so much for subscribing and showing support to the show. Today, your boy Bugatti don't feel like playing because like I said, I got a long clip to get into and a lot to cover. So without any further ado, let's get into this title. Like I said to you guys all the time, y'all already know my spiel, but I'm going to say it again. Whenever you tap in, do me a favor, let me know where you're tapping in from so that I can make sure I go look for content in your area. I like to make everything relevant to everybody so that the conversation is consistent. Now, without any further ado, let's get into this title before that alarm goes off again. Let's go. Trump says Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's right. We spoke about that already. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They have already been told that. We've already tried to send letters and say, hey, can we have a conversation? Let's talk about this. As of a few weeks ago, they were not wanting to come to the table. The Ayatollah was really giving a lot of pushback. But as what we're going to see in a few of these clips is there may be a little bit of reception, and we're going to see what goes along with that, guys. And in other subcategories, what else do we have? We got this first teacher disciplined for violating the Florida parental rights law. That means the identification law when it comes down to the verbal identification. So if a child tells you to call her Tom and she's really named Sally and the teacher is actually calling her Tom without the parent knowing, that's a violation of a school teacher now in Florida. We're going to get into that. Didn't even know that. And last but not least, what do we have here? Okay, we've got Detroit police respond to a controversial video of a rough arrest. When I say rough arrest, I mean pretty rough. Want to get into these clips, guys? I got a lot of breaking news coming right at you in the beginning. Got some information I want to go over that has to deal with the immigration, border, and things of that nature. We're going to stack the deck. We're going to put a lot of videos up. Then I'll come into the comments and see what you guys have to say about the videos that we're putting up. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. And like I said, let's get it moving. Let's get into this. Supreme Court delivers a win for Donald Trump. And the liberal judges that have been giving pushback, you're in another state, but all of a sudden you're going to try to put in some federal litigation paperwork that says a president can't enact a federal move. Basically, they're going to tell you guys right now what the justification and what happened out of that from the Supreme Court. They delivered their determination, and it's another win for Trump. But I'm going to skip around this clip because it's a very long clip. So I've got a couple of areas that I want you guys to see in here. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, so a couple of things from this. First of all, the D.C. chief judge should have made this decision to begin with. This shouldn't have never made it to the Supreme Court because he knew that he didn't have jurisdiction over it. You have someone that's been held in Texas, and then you have a D.C. circuit judge that is overseeing it. That should have never happened. So what the Supreme Court said, this was an improper venue. And anytime someone is held, whether it's an immigration case or any other federal crime, it has to happen wherever they're held at. And so they sent it right back to Texas. The second part, which is what you were alluding to, was the due process. What they're saying is that you have to file a habeas petition. They're not disputing the flights yet. None of that is happening. But this is not exclusive to immigration. If you have any issue with detainment and your lawyer wants to pose some type of legal order, you got to file a habeas petition in the area where you're being held and let that judge handle it. I think it was a great win for the administration, but it also was a great day for the rule of law. Right. No more venue shopping when it comes to immigration.
Yeah.
No more venue shopping when it comes to immigration. What do they mean by that? If you don't like something that's going on with something, you have to keep it in your state. You can't go outside of your state to try to get some liberal judge or a judge that's going to side with you to go ahead and try to stop the process of moving forward. Now, let's get to the beginning of this, because this is what I want you guys to see as well. There's a double part of this clip right here, some action and some movement as well.
Boost to President Trump's border agenda, clearing the way for deportation flights to resume using the Alien and Enemies Act after an Obama-appointed judge tried to block it. Let's bring in the Attorney General for the United States, Pam Bondi. Madam Attorney General, thank you so much for joining the program.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a great day for America, and it's a great day to be a Florida Gator.
Well, yes, it is. More news on that later, Madam Attorney General. But let's talk about what the court did. Essentially, they didn't rule when it comes to the Aliens and Enemy Act. What they said was this was the wrong venue, that the D.C. Circuit Court had no jurisdiction over that. But they also said, listen, if there's due process, then they have to do it through the normal channels, through a habeas writ. So what is the administration reaction to all that the Supreme Court just said yesterday?
Well, Lawrence, this is a landmark victory for the rule of law. And this is what we've been arguing on behalf of President Trump from day one. These are enemies of our state, of our country, and they should be deported. And what the judge ruled was going forward, from this day forward, all those planes that are gone are there. Those people are staying. So there are a lot of reasons why Americans are safer. From this point forward, the hearing will be held, it's a habeas hearing, in the court of confinement, which means in Texas. Yeah. So it will be a much faster hearing. They can't do class actions. It will be a much smoother, simpler hearing, and these people will be deported. Americans are safer, and domestic terrorists, foreign terrorists, you better look out, because we're coming after you. I'd start self-deporting if I were you, because we're going to find you.
Okay, so speaking of self-deporting, because we used a lot of that clip, because I'm stacking a deck right now to give you guys some content so that we can have some context. All right, y'all. Let's, speaking of what she just said, all right, let's go into this, where the Trump administration actually sees success with migration through the registration program. Remember the CBP-1 application that they had on the phones? Well, they changed that application and told everybody they can use it now to self-deport. And they're seeing success from it. Check this out, you guys. I want you guys to see what's going on here. When she said self-deport, watch this. Then yesterday, remember, we went over the social security numbers that have been taken away from the illegal immigrants. So now that's another thing. If you don't have those American social security numbers, now what are you going to do? Not only that, they're going to start knocking on the doors of everybody that had the IRS, those your addresses. When you file your taxes under your social security number, your IRS has your address. So now they're going to start knocking on those doors too. Check this out, you guys. Let's get back into this, what I just said about the registration program.
I'm Janae Bowens in Washington with a look at the Trump administration's immigration reform efforts. Another win for President Donald Trump.
It's a very big self-deport operation that we're starting.
The administration's illegal alien registration program took effect on Friday after a federal judge gave the green light for it to move forward. It includes mandates like requiring non-citizens aged 14 and older to register with the government, submit biometric data like fingerprinting, and carry proof of registration.
They can be charged criminally, and they can face fines up to $1,000 a day and face deportation if they don't go home, and they'll never get the chance to come back to America.
Meanwhile, the U.S. House is bolstering the administration's immigration efforts by pushing for tougher voter ID laws.
Millions of people in the United States, wrongfully and illegally, many of whom carried out dangerous acts against American people, killed American citizens, but importantly, have been registering to vote.
The House Thursday passing the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, which would require proof of citizenship, like a real ID or passport, to register to vote in federal elections.
The president very much supports a common sense solution to ensuring that only citizens can engage in our elections.
Most Democrats are pushing back.
The SAVE Act suppresses the votes of women, of Black, brown, and indigenous people, of veterans, and working class Americans.
How do Black, brown, and indigenous people have a problem with showing their identification? You sure you're not worried about the people that you brought over under the Biden administration and left the borders wide open? Are those the people that they're trying to cover for, that they gave these social security numbers to and said, hey, you guys, we're doing this for you. So next election, y'all know who to vote for. I'm in the comments. I want to know what you guys got to say. We put enough on the deck. Let's go. Want to know what you guys got to say. Let's go. Raccoon Man says, do you support California succession? Okay, life and death. White lives matter in South Africa. Okay, boom, you're out of here. Boom, out of here, playing around too early. What else we got? T. Montal says, beautiful outfit for Palm Sunday. Okay, thank you for the joke. What else we got? Angels Among Us says, hey, Miss Kendra. Good morning, Kendra. That's what's up, y'all, saying good morning to each other. What else we got? Raccoon, do you mean where am I? Okay, Casey says, good morning, Bugatti. Good morning, Casey. Car Care. Raccoon Man, what lodge are you in? Okay, Raccoon Man, you are out of here. Bang! That was too much from Raccoon Man. Too much action going on with you. What else we got? We got to keep on going right here because now our President Trump has exempted cell phones, computer chips, and more from tariffs. So that means like smartphones and things like that. That's the only thing that they're actually making exempt when it comes down from tariffs right now. You guys, let's keep it moving because now we got to get to the money, 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 money. I know y'all like to talk about the money, the business parts, because that's directly what's affecting us. And I can get it. Y'all don't care about what's going on with this border stuff. I get it. I get it. Y'all want to know about your phones and your computers, right? So let's find out what's going on. Let's go.
Beijing striking back today with a 125% tariff on all U.S. goods sold in China. This comes after President Trump placed a 145% tariff on Chinese imports. And now we're learning of a possible reprieve on certain products. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has the latest from Washington.
Hey, Ike, as the U.S.-China trade war heats up, the Trump administration is exempting smartphones, laptops, and other electronics from its reciprocal tariffs. That's according to a bulletin posted by U.S. Customs Border Protection late Friday night. Now, those exemptions also include solar cells, flat...
Are you looking to start your own business? Well, look no further than busy.com. Right now, we'll complete your...
panel TV displays, flash drives, computer processors, memory chips, and semiconductor-based storage devices. So this is some relief for big tech companies like Apple, which relies on China to assemble the iPhone. UBS had estimated that the cost of the new iPhone 16 Pro Max could jump by $950 under the 145% tariffs that Trump has imposed on all goods from China.
I want to know if y'all going to pay this much for a new iPhone. The cost of an iPhone 16 Max. The current retail, $1,199. Now the potential price, I know y'all balling. I mean, y'all iPhone users. I use an iPhone too. But my question is not two, but I also have an iPhone as well. I want to know, would you guys spend $2,149 for an iPhone 16 Pro Max? Thumbs up if you'll spend that. Thumbs down if you won't. $2,149. Would you spend that for an iPhone 4 Max? Or would you not with the thumbs down? Let me know what you guys say in the comments. That's a lot of dough right there, y'all. I'm talking about, that's the real extended price for real right there. That's crazy.
45% tariffs that Trump has imposed on all goods from China. And right now, there appears to be no end in sight for the U.S.-China trade war. China has imposed 125% tariffs on American goods, and those steep tariffs go into effect today. The White House has said that there currently are no negotiations happening between the U.S. and China. Now, this trade war is painful for both countries. Last year, the U.S. imported $440 billion worth of goods from China, everything from toys, clothes to electronics. Those reciprocal tariffs, those are going to hurt American farmers. China buys more soybeans from the U.S. than any other country. All of this is hurting small businesses as well, not just consumers that could face those higher prices. I visited
If you guys were here yesterday, you also know that the manufacturing companies in China is already being affected by this as well. Don't look at this as one-sided, because guess what? The same way at my retail store, I have to sell things and buy stuff. The manufacturer has to make it. We showed tons of factories yesterday with real people walking around like, I'm going to tell the truth. Look at what's happening in here. Factories shut down, boxes to the side, people being told, look, we have no work because the orders are being shut down. So yes, we are bleeding out on our side when it comes down to the United States of America. But guess what? China is as well. And all of this is stupid. It's all dumb. It makes no sense. You know why? Because they just won't negotiate. And it's real. It's the truth. You need to negotiate with us and say, hey, you know what? Let's do some sort of trade negotiations here. When you just say no, like you go into the store, you've been buying stuff from them for $450 billion worth a year, as you've heard. Now you're saying, hey, can we negotiate to probably do a little bit on those prices? And you're like, no, hurry up and buy. Of course you're going to get peed off and be like, you know what? Okay, you know what? We're going to just shut this down for a little while. And now China's trying to say things like, well, we're a country that's been in existence for way longer than the United States. We've been here before you and we'll last longer than you. Instead of wanting to just negotiate. And the sad part about it, I'm going to say this because I normally don't give my opinion, but I do business and I deal with China all the time. You buy stuff from there, sometimes it's broken. Can't really ship it back. You buy something from over there, it's flimsy or Temu type of stuff. It's never nothing really good when it comes down to the quality that they really promise to give you. Sometimes, and then it's always HELL hockey sticks when it's trying to get some sort of reciprocal. I mean, like you get your money back or try to get something with a better product. China is like that. Also, when you send your product over there to get made, they knock you off, and then they sell your stuff to other places. That's the intellectual property part of it, when they're taking your designs, taking your styles, knocking you off, and basically, selling your stuff in other countries that you don't even know about. So it's a lot of stuff that they're doing, and they're trying to just act like, oh, United States is ribbing us and doing us wrong and reaming us. Nah, man, what about the stuff that y'all do? How much stuff that y'all steal, even the fake products that they make. They even was making brakes at one time that people press down on the brakes in their car, the whole damn brake pad come off. Let's talk about real stuff, bad quality of the stuff that they make. Let's go into the real bottom line of this. I mean, stop fronting, acting like we're just being so mean to China and these other countries. Now, I'm not going to say that we couldn't have done this another way or went about it a different way, like slowly and a few countries at a time, but at least these other countries are willing to negotiate. China's not even attempting to negotiate, and they're trying to turn everything back with the rhetoric to make it look like we're just so bad. We both bad. Now how are we going to negotiate? How about we look at it like that? America be doing whatever we do. Y'all do what y'all do too. So how about negotiate and come to an even playing field? When you go in a store that you've been spending money in, and you're like, hey, I want to buy those Jordans right there. They're $160. Well, I got $150. No. You get tired of that after a while. You get tired of it. And then now you want to act like, oh, they're beating me up. It's a lie. Stop fronting. Stop it. If you think you're going to make a profit, stop it. If you think, no. And now they're like, oh, we're here. We're going to fight until the end. The end of what and why? The end of what and why? Just negotiate. Just negotiate. You're losing money, and you're lying like you're not. I'm in the comments now. What's going on? Tina this had to be done, says Eric. He damn sure did, Eric. Thank you for staying on topic. Damn sure did after it had to happen. Stanley says the wheels fell off. Oh, it's about to be a lot of people leaving, and I'm not even like talking. Like I'm just like this dude right here. Bang! I've been just getting people out of here as I read because they don't even know how we get down. They don't even know. Welcome, Matt Jack. Well, we got reciprocal. Ian says reciprocal. Make your own. Yeah, but we can't just make our own overnight. We still need to be able to facilitate the certain orders and things like that we have right now. Shout out to Poland in the building. Poland is in the building. We got Jake over here. Okay, we got him up in the building. Okay, yeah, China, because it's all coming back. Ian says can't say the word reciprocal. Who can't say reciprocal? I can say reciprocal. What up, Chad C? Kendra, how you doing? Rebecca, I agree with you, Bugatti. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I really appreciate that. Red Planet, let me know when Trump closes his family's factories in China and moves them to the U.S. Good one. Ian, see, I read everybody's stuff. Ian, how you doing? Chad C, hola, racist amigos, joke. Eric says, that's right. It's a negotiation tactic. Ian, why is this dude even exist? Oh man, I don't know. You about to get up out of here. Chad C, the tariffs are targeted. No tax on phones, TVs, chips. Trump may be on the right track. Yeah, we'll see. Yes, we got to get something going with negotiations. Once you get to be able to save money, pay attention to what's going on in your own life like that, start to make the right type of moves and make sure that you're spending correctly, paying attention, and having that other word that Elon Musk said, consideration, because that goes a long way. I've gone to many jobs and I've seen people work places where they just don't care. You put a little bit of care into something, you start to see positive results. People that's joking in the comments, I'm telling you right now, I'm the worst person to play around with. We're staying on topic right now. We have massive monitors in here that all they got to do is say your name and I get you up out of here. Y'all can say all the jokes that y'all want, but we've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning and pooling since 3. So guess what? I don't feel like playing. I'll entertain you, but I don't feel like playing around. But do me a favor, if you guys do appreciate the content, because we've been going for so long, appreciate you guys here. Let's go ahead and get those likes up, because what that does, it gets more people over here to let them know what we got going on at our bottom line. I want to keep on moving forward here because we talked about the exemptions. We're talking about the blame game with this one here, trying to make it like we're so bad and we don't want to negotiate and we're not, willing to work things out. I want to talk to you about, I want you guys to see this clip right here where Trump was on Air Force One, talked a little bit about Iran, Russia, Ukraine, as well as what's going on with the talks and the negotiations when it comes down to tariffs. Let's get into this real quick. I want you guys to hear it right from the horse's mouth. Here you go.
So we're going to the fight. We have lots of fights going around the world. And I think we have a lot of good news coming soon about some of those fights. And we'll see how it goes. But it's been an interesting weekend. I think we have some pretty good news coming on some of the conflicts.
How did it give us a readout on the Iran talks, sir?
I think they're going okay.
What was your what
I
did
can't
Mr. Whitcomb tell you about?
because nothing matters until you get it done. So I don't like talking about it, but it's going okay. The Iran situation is going pretty good.
Are there other talks that are going well, sir?
I think.
Are there other talks that are going well in addition to the Iran
There
talks?
are other talks going well. I think Ukraine, Russia might be going okay, and you're going to be finding out pretty soon. There's a point at which you just have to either put up or shut up, and we'll see what happens. But I think it's going fine. I think we have the tariffs in very good shape. We had a lot of things going, don't we? Huh? When you think about it, we got a lot of things going.
More inflation's dropping. Americans have more money.
Inflation's dropping. Americans have more money, and the country has more money. We've been making $2 and $3 billion a day the last couple of weeks. We didn't make that ever, and we're making a lot of money. And then to be nice, I lowered the tariffs on everybody. But we've been making a lot of money, and it's always been the other way around. Other countries, in particular China, was making a lot of money.
It's interesting. I was with you on the campaign this time last year, and Americans were telling me they weren't planning to take a summer vacation because of inflation, gas prices, airline tickets. It's a different scenario now. What's your message to the American family when they eye those summer vacations this year?
Well, we have no inflation. We have lots of success. We have a lot of great things in the hope column. We hope it's going to be concluded, some of these things. We have a border that's totally sealed at a level that nobody's seen. Even during my 4 years, I was very successful with it, but I think we have it even a little more closed. We are allowing people into the country, but they have to come in legally.
Guys, do me a favor. We want to get more people over here. We really appreciate it if we can go ahead and get those likes up. All you really got to do is double tap the screen. I won't stop the videos, but I still want to make sure that we can get more people over here. I'm going to come into the comments also to see what you guys have to say about what Trump is talking about right now. So please have some dialogue. Let us know what you guys feel. Also, please go ahead and subscribe if you have not gone already. But this is our bottom line. The bottom line here is to listen to what's going on. Drop some comments in here so we have some dialogue to talk about. Let's keep it going, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to the show, and let's do what we do.
But I appreciate your question. Yeah, we have no inflation, and people are doing well.
Mr. President, in Texas, Ken Paxton is running against John Cornyn for Senate. Are you going to endorse in that race?
Well, they're both friends of mine. They're both good men, and I don't know. We don't know who else is running, but these two, Ken, John, they're both friends of mine. So I'll make a determination at the right time.
Mr. President, your administration announced some exemptions on the China tariffs, iPhones, computers, televisions, that kind of thing. You're preparing separate semiconductor tariffs. Can you walk us through that decision?
I'll give you that answer on Monday. We'll be very specific on Monday.
Are you suggesting
we're taking in a lot of money. As a country, we're taking in a lot of money. You guys have to sit down. We're landing, okay? I don't want you to get hurt, especially.
Yes, sir.
Have a good time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Are you all going?
He didn't make it, Kendra. Sorry. We're going to say burr, 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 for Ian. Burr, burr, burr. Yeah, he was doing a little too much, and I'm not playing around this morning because it's too early. So, want to know what you guys have to say about that. See, we got a lot of good comments in the bottom. Because right now, I also want to move forward to some information from MSNBC. Because as you see, everything's being reported on one side currently, where you see I'm probably having people get a little peed off. So let's be a little fair here, guys. We want to show some information from, MSNBC. Let's be fair. And this is about what they're calling a joke. Despite Doge's government spending, they're saying that despite Doge, they're saying that spending is up $144 billion this year. So everybody just hold tight. We're going to get through this clip together. Come on, we're going to get through this clip together. We're not going to go too far, but we're going to definitely give them 2 minutes. Let's go. Because you know I like to be fair. Let's go. Let's give them 2 minutes.
I couldn't be more honored to tell the American people that we're bringing back their dollars and we're saving them and returning them to the United States Treasury.
So I think we're doing a lot of good and excellent collaboration with the cabinet to achieve these savings.
This country has gotten bloated and fat and disgusting.
That's a little bit descriptive. These guys have promised us that the reason they are gutting the government is to save you money, save all of us money. But here's the thing. When you take a step back and look at what they're actually doing, you begin to realize they're not doing a very good job of saving us money. A Wall Street Journal analysis of daily financial statements issued by the Treasury Department found that government spending since the inauguration in January of this year is $154 billion more than in the same period in 2024 during the Biden administration. Let me break it down. That means Donald Trump has spent $154 billion more than Joe Biden did at this time a year ago. The analysis essentially shows that Elon Musk's slash and burn philosophy isn't saving the American taxpayer money at all, which explains why he lowered his projected savings dramatically yesterday during a cabinet meeting. Meanwhile, Trump is set to land in West Palm Beach tonight, which is part of his weekly weekend vacation exodus. Since January, he has spent 10 out of the 11 weeks at one of his properties. According to one estimate published in 2019 by the Government Accountability Office, each trip to Mar-a-Lago, and this is in 2019 dollars, cost the American taxpayer roughly $3.3 million. Joining me now is Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, delegate to the House.
All right, I just wanted you guys to see that, because let's say that we're creating a level playing field here, and giving everybody the chance to get the information out what they feel that they need to be heard. What do you guys think about that? That was 2 great clips right there. President actually speaking about stuff, and MSNBC. I'm coming to the comments, y'all. I'm in the comments. Let's go. Angels Among Us says, same to you, Mad Hatter. Likewise, Mad Hatter must be leaving. Ebony Minion, what was the BS? What was the BS actually? Oh yeah, Rick. Okay, what else we got? American Muscle says this Google face acting like Trump and Elon are worse than Biden's administration. Ha ha. Mad Hatter says happy Palm Sunday, everyone. Happy Palm Sunday, everybody. Happy Palm Sunday, everybody. Thanks, Mad Hatter. Thank you so much, Rick. Yeah, but Biden spent money on BS. Stanley says, you think it'll pick up if we pick up? Kendra says, can we get 80 likes, please? Yeah, can we get 80 likes in the building? Because we doing our thing, and I got much more. Don't go nowhere, because every time I say, oh, let's get those likes up, we always have those people, Kendra. We always have those people, Batty. What they do, they always run, right? And then Bugatti come and hit you with a boom, and they be like, damn, I shouldn't have left. But we ain't going to tell them. That's that woosah, that Jet Li woosah. We let that go. And then we come with another one. We just gonna keep on moving, y'all. We gonna keep on moving. Okay, what we got? What we got? We got Philip. We are 3 months in. Calm down, said Philip. Philip said, calm down. I'm with you, Philip. Andrea said, love the soup, Bugatti. Good morning. Thank you so much, Andrea. That was a great uplifting comment right there. Thank you. Car Care, that's my people. Nobody pay for tariffs where taxes are 100% in a fiat currency market. Yeah, man. Kendra says, whoop, whoop. What else we got? Angels Among Us 214. Ian, bye, boy. Stanley, determination, good word. Juan says, who pays for the tariffs? Good question, Juan. Juan has a question, everybody. Juan wants to know who pays for the tariffs. And that's a good question. I'm always thinking it comes down to the consumer, and then we have to pay the extra charges at the retail cash register because everybody has to add their piece on. It goes from the manufacturer that makes it, then it goes to what? The wholesaler that purchases it, and then we got to ship it so they get to pay, and then we got to pay for the customs at the border, and then once it gets there, they're going to put their money onto it. So man, that's why sometimes a product always starts off very cheap, but by the time it gets to retail, it's at maybe 70 or 80% more than what it started off at because they have to add all that stuff onto it. Good question though, good question. President Trump announces a new military move at the US border. He authorizes the seizure of federal land along the borderline now. He's taking the land back that's been along the borderline. Now, I have a question about this. Like, let's say there's people's homes there and things like that. You know, what's going to happen with that? Just a question that I have.
Trump announced a new military move on the U.S. southern border as his administration confronts multiple challenges around the globe. Bradley Blackburn is tracking the latest.
Elaine Jenna, the president, is back in Florida this morning, but for the White House, the focus is firmly on events around the globe. This move on the U.S. southern border is a different approach that would give more power to the military to defend hundreds of miles of border territory that stretches across 3 states. President Trump flew south to Palm Beach late Friday as the White House announced plans in the U.S. Southwest. In an executive order, he gave the Pentagon control of federal lands on the southern border, effectively turning them into a military installation. The order says it would enable activities like barrier construction and enforcing security. It includes the Roosevelt Reservation, a narrow strip of land that passes through California, Arizona, and New Mexico. One of the Trump administration's moves on immigration was challenged at the U.S. Supreme Court this week, with the court ordering the White House to work to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to a Salvadoran prison. Aboard Air Force One, the president said he would comply.
I'm not totally well versed as to the specific case, but if they said to bring him back, I would tell them to bring him back.
Meanwhile, in the global tariff battle, China's 100...
Y'all gotta do me a favor. This is sad right here. These numbers is looking real crackheadish. We got enough people in the building to get those likes up. Come on now. We got 39 likes. We got a ton of people in the building. I'm gonna have to stop the clips, and we got much more. So if those people that's up there, they gonna run. We gonna let y'all leave because we got much more in the clip that's even better than this. We're not even halfway through. So we know what y'all do. Oh, he want a like I'm asking you for money. Like I always do. I always tell you guys. We don't ask for no money. We got coffee in the kitchen, and we know times are rough. So we ain't going to ask you for no money. We would like to get the likes up because what does that do? It lets more people know what we're doing, and it gets more people here. And that's what we like to do, get more people here. That's our bottom line. Okay, our bottom line, the title of the show as well. So I look at it like this. If I've been somewhere for longer than 5 minutes, that means I'm actually liking what I'm looking at. So that's why I'm asking you guys, do us that favor. Don't worry about no money because we understand times are rough. Try to get those likes up so that we can get more people over here, trying to get more subscribers and get the channel up. Get us more momentum so that we can help out and get the message out. So let's continue with this clip and understand what we're all trying to do here. Thank you so much for your understanding and cooperation.
25% tariff on U.S. goods goes into effect Saturday after President Trump raised his tariff to 145% and excluded China from a 90-day pause.
They can choose not to deal with us, or they can choose to pay it. And that's where we are.
And this weekend, the White House is starting new nuclear negotiations with Iran.
I want Iran to be a wonderful, great, happy country, but they can't have a nuclear weapon.
The talks are being held in Oman Saturday. During his first term, President Trump scrapped an...
Okay, you already heard him say it. That's the title of the show right there today. Iran, what cannot have a nuclear weapon? It's saying it basically can't. When you got your back up against the wall and you got the... No, we don't need a country like that or another North Korea having a nuclear weapon. I agree with that statement right there. Okay? Real talk. Now, where you at, Batty? Come on up here. Come on up here, Batty. Anybody from Michigan, everybody from Detroit, bring it up. Come to the front of the stage. I'm going to need all you guys to come to the front of the congregation because I got a question. What the hell going on in Detroit? We're about to, I'm talking about a smorgasbord. We got a lot going on in D-Town, y'all. So y'all ready? I'm going to see if I can lay this out for you because I'm going to try to keep up with what Detroit got going on right now. Detroit police, the police, respond to controversial video of a rough arrest. Now, when I tell y'all a rough arrest, this is pretty rough. And this is number one for Detroit. Y'all ready? Yeah, Detroit, y'all showing y'all Bizak side today, boy, but I'm going to let y'all do it because this is what y'all doing.
Tonight, there are always multiple sides to every story. Now, Detroit police want to give theirs after a video of an arrest goes viral.
It is a story you first saw yesterday here on Fox 2. Police say the Detroit man in that video hid a gun and resisted officers. Now he's been charged.
What he doing in the red?
This is what Detroit police officers keyed in on, rolling up to a gas station on Detroit's west side last month, responding to what looked like a fight.
Damn, got it.
After video of the arrest went viral, 27-year-old Daryl Dawson, who was in the red sweatsuit that night, told Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly this on Thursday.
I grabbed one of the lady's female occupant purses out the car, and I closed the door, proceeded to go to the store.
But after seeing body cam footage Friday, this is what officers say Dawson was stashing, an unregistered pistol.
I grabbed one of the lady's bags out of the car and was just trying to hand it to her. Yeah, that's all you was doing, buddy? Was that all you was doing?
The individual in red attempt to put what appeared to be a firearm and tuck it under the front seat of the vehicle.
Again, Dawson proclaimed his innocence.
Did you have a weapon?
No, ma'am.
From there, Assistant Chief Franklin Hayes says they have the right to search further, but were met with
resistance. Lack of cooperation, not being transparent, and attempting to evade the officers both in their investigation as well as physically.
For about 5 minutes, Hayes says Dawson actively resisted and officers used closed fist strikes.
That's not cool. That's not cool.
As backup comes, they finally subdue Dawson, who continues to say his dad is an officer. Dawson's adoptive father is an investigator with DPD.
Whether you're an officer, whether you're the family of an officer, you're not above the law.
He's charged with carrying a concealed weapon. The gun was unregistered and he's not a CPL holder.
Concealed permit to hold a license, concealed permit. He doesn't have one. And then the motion going towards the purse, that's another thing. And then the fact that it was in there, that's another thing, right? Unless you're going to say it was her pistol. Now, I do not condone those closed punch fists to the head. I don't condone that at all. Because I think that there was enough officers to subdue him without punching him. Okay, I'm in the comments right now, y'all. I want to know what crime he's suspected of committing because having a firearm is not an effing crime. That's right. That's what I'm saying. You know, okay. And I was saying that to myself yesterday. I said that to myself yesterday. Sadat said it is like golf tournament. They played everything like Hollywood, like the movie in front of everybody. Now they have to take care of business, the government. Okay, what else we got here? We got Corey that says, what does it matter if he had a firearm? This is America. Right again, man. I can't even front. Car Care says B on B crime. What's new? Stanley says they escalated instead of preaching. What else? Mad Hatter, he grabbed the purse from her car to hand to her. You never know. That could have been what was going on, Mad Hatter. You're right. Rebecca says, I don't believe he was up to no good. Okay, I don't believe he wasn't up to no good. More like Kevin Hart. Okay, all right, I think so too. People give themselves away. Batty Lynn said, I saw this footage. He had a gun in Detroit. Cops don't play. Batty's from Detroit. Angels Among Us says, right dude, LOL. So no, I do not condone the closed fist punching. I think that there was enough dudes, enough cops there to subdue. The question therein lies in the entire situation is, whose pistol is it and what preceded this? Because we don't know that. But those closed fist punches, I can't agree with that at all.
Also charged with resisting arrest and given a $25,000 bond, no 10%. He has priors too for weapons offenses and drug trafficking.
The application or the deployment of force is uncomfortable to look at. Force is never pretty.
And so when this cell phone video went viral.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I got more because it gets a little sad right there. It gets a little sad in Michigan because this right here is a story of somebody actually working, trying hard to get somewhere. I know a lot of people leaving because they don't want to see real original stories. I might just flip the show to this because, we do enough politics, but we need to get some real stories out. So we're going to stay in Michigan. You ain't going to worry about the numbers of the likes. We're going to just leave it how it is. Michigan, because y'all on a roll right now. This Michigan man is charged in a fatal shooting of a DoorDash driver. All this guy was doing was delivering food for DoorDash. Came here to our country, doing everything by the book, and look what happened to this man. This is crazy right here. Check this out, y'all. DoorDash murderer, drive-by shooting, road rage.
We're learning more about a man who was killed in a random attack in Ferndale while seeking out the American dream. Thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
And I'm Terrence Friday. That deadly encounter happened last month on Woodward Avenue in Ferndale. Tonight, police released new information about the suspects and the man who was shot and killed.
CBS News Detroit's Terrell Bailey explains how it all started with a DoorDash order.
It's shocking. It's disturbing.
That's how Ferndale's deputy police chief described a recent murder. Early in the morning on March 9th, Mamadou Diallo was killed. He was out working for DoorDash and had just picked up an order.
Mr. Diallo merged onto the southbound Woodward Ave. A GMC truck, speeding recklessly, nearly collided with his vehicle before abruptly switching lanes.
Both cars ended up on 8 Mile. Police say the suspected truck slowed down, waiting for Mamadou to catch up. That's when a shooting happened.
This was an isolated incident. This was not targeted.
Police say the driver of the other car, 39-year-old Terrell Sims, now faces murder and firearm charges. 2 others were arrested but have since been released. At this time, police aren't elaborating on their possible roles.
We are doing everything in our power to the best of our abilities to seek justice for Mr. Diallo.
Mamadou is from Senegal. His friends tell us he moved here in 2023 to help his family back home.
He came to the U.S. just to provide for his mom. She had a stroke. So can you imagine someone who came to this country, working until let's say 1 o'clock in the morning because they believe in the American dream?
We're told the victim loves soccer but also advancing his education. The 26-year-old was killed just 1 day before his birthday.
He doesn't get in no problems. He go to school, he work, he go home.
Sims, a convicted felon, will be back in court later on this month. He has no bond. Meantime, though, police in Ferndale say this is the city's first murder since 2016. In Ferndale, Terrell Bailey, CBS News, Detroit.
Detroit, y'all acting up out there. Get it together now. Get it together because stuff like this is just we already going through enough. I know everybody's broke, everybody's stressed out, but road rage, that's something else now. Come on now. Calm it down. Let me see what you guys got to say about this. What y'all got to say? I'm hungry. Okay. Kendra, what we got here? No, Rebecca says, oh my God, 1 day before his birthday. So dang sad. Corey says, okay. Okay, what you got here? We got Roni says, I'm hungry. Why are you joking right now? Something like that. Casey says, Manano Diallo reminds me of Amadou Diallo. If you were from New York, you got to remember. You're talking about 41 shots, Casey. 41 shots. Amadou Diallo. I could still hear his mother saying his name in the way that it was just so heart-wrenching. I know exactly what you're talking about, brother. Noah says, doing illegal activity destroys your amendments. Okay, what we got here? Car Care says deport him. Deport him. Drugs trigger them emotionally. Now I want to know something. If you got a kid that's in school, and they're telling the teacher, my name on the paperwork is Sarah, but I want you to call me Kevin. Would you as a parent want to know that the teacher is calling Sarah Kevin? I heard that it's a law in Florida that you have to basically report that, or the parent needs to know, even identifying staples. When it comes down to identifying words, you have to basically tell the parent. You can't just be calling them out of what their name is in Florida. It's a new law. Check this out. It's so crazy. I didn't even know about this, but I figure you guys might be interested in because it happened, and now she's been disciplined for calling the child a different name.
And reigniting a fierce debate on parental rights in our nation's schools. Melissa Calhoun, who you're looking at here, teaches at Satellite High School in Brevard County, Florida, and she will not have her contract renewed after she is accused of violating state law and referring to a student by their preferred name without parental consent.
Car care. What's going on in Florida, car care? Come on, car care.
Now, Brevard County District spokesperson sent this statement to Outnumbered. It tells the story. Brevard Public Schools was made aware that a teacher at Satellite High School had been referring to a student by a name other than their legal name without parental permission. When the parent reached out to us, this directly violates state law and the district's standardized process for written parental consent. BPS supports parents' rights to be the primary decision makers in their children's lives, and Florida law affirms their right to be informed. After the accusation was made, the district conducted a detailed investigation, and based on the teacher's own admission that she knowingly did not comply with state statute, she received a letter of reprimand. Teachers, like all employees, are expected to follow the law. The teacher is working under a 10-month contract that expires in May 2025.
I don't think she's going to get rehired because you under contract and something happened and that joint made the news. I don't even think she's going to get rehired, not in Florida. Probably she might need to go to Maine, where Poland Spring, what it means to be from Maine, and where they accept that stuff because they ain't accepting that in Florida. Ron DeSantis, y'all know better. So, hey, that's what's going down. I want to know what you guys have to say about Detroit and this. I already gave you enough content. Want to know what's up? What else we got? What we got? What we got down here? We got a lot. I know y'all loaded up. Good day. What do the Americans think about Trump taking? Okay, what we got? Indian says, follow the law, lady. That's it. But bye-bye. Stanley says, Florida does look like poop on the map. Ooh, yo, car care, get Stanley for that one. Yo, Stanley, car care come from Florida. You better chill out. Adolph says, please, Pooh. Mad Hatter says, well, she want to break law intentionally. Now she out of a job. No romance without finance. Girl, nothing in this life is free. Cause you're only wasting time if your pockets are empty. No romance without finance. Takumi says nobody takes you serious. Look at yourself. Thank you, Takumi, but you're talking in my comments. God bless you. Corey says, I mean, that's just common sense. Adolph says, poo now. All right, you got to go. You keep on talking about Pooh, Adolf. You're going to have to go. Natalie, how are you doing this morning, Natalie? New York kids can change their names without parents knowing. Wow, I didn't even know that. Car care, I know. I see you. I see you, car care, laughing like I see you, car care. Andrea, no, if I have a son named Bob, then don't call him Barbie at school. Nah, that's what Andrea said. Adolf said, I'll stop. Yeah, stay on topic, Adolf. I want you to hang around. Don't wild out. Let's stay on topic because we got some good stuff going on here. I want to keep it going now because I love the way that you guys followed up with that. And the way that you did that Bob breakdown was crazy. Just like if I got a son named Bob, I don't want you calling him Barbara. That was a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like, woo, I need stuff like that before I go into a next story like this. Because this is kind of crazy. I'm going to try to say the name of this place. Okasi. Convicted killer captured in Okasi after being mistakenly released. Some guy was basically a convicted killer, and they got the paperwork wrong, and they read it wrong, and they released him onto the streets. Even his mama that came to pick him up was like, you sure they said you can come home? Are you sure? Let me see the paperwork. Let me see the paperwork. Because I know you out on a you went in there on a serious charge. Convicted killer in Ocoee. Akiosi? I don't know where that's at. But I want you guys to see this story right here because it happened. And homeboy was like, well, they let me go. I guess everything is all right.
Story tonight, communities across 2 states relieved to know that Kathan Guzman, this man, is back behind bars tonight. I'm Ginger Gadsden. Thank you so much for joining us. Matt has the night off. Now, to get you up to speed on this story, last year, Guzman was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Delia Grayson. But late in March, he was mistakenly released from a Georgia jail where staffers looking at a court document apparently failed to notice his most serious charge, murder. It's an error that was not discovered until Tuesday of this week.
Wow.
He was recaptured today in an Ocoee neighborhood. New at 11, News 6's Mike Valenti is hearing from the mom of the victim and the mom of the suspect. Both of them are trying to make sense of everything that has happened.
Confused, angry, frustrated, baffled.
I'm infuriated. I'm disgusted.
A little bit of trust issues. A lot of trust issues.
Christina Grayson had been living in fear since April 8th, when she learned her daughter's killer was no longer behind bars. Fear that has not entirely dissipated, despite his apprehension Friday.
It was so easy for him to walk out.
So worried maybe another clerical error could happen in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. He got a second chance, and I started feeling like I was in prison.
I don't know where to go from here.
Iris Guzman now feels like her world is caving in. She was with her son at her home in Ocoee Friday, when U.S. Marshals showed up.
We were having what seemed to be a normal day. And in a split second, my home was surrounded and covered. All because of somebody else's mistake.
She right now has a lot of questions. Do you have any sympathy at all for her?
I do not.
Okay.
She has never had sympathy for Delilah. She's never formally apologized.
Guzman tells News 6 she picked her son up from jail March 27th and looked at his release papers, which had no instructions on what to do next. News 6's Laverne McGee pressed her on her actions.
You knew that he was in jail for a serious crime, for murder. He was let out. What happened at that time? Did you not check to see?
I did. I actually followed through and called the sheriff's department back to make sure that what was happening was legit, and they brushed me off.
I have no feelings for her. She should have turned him right around and turned him in. She should have called the DA.
I stayed behind and made sure that what I was doing was correct.
Guzman says she stayed in Georgia until last weekend, when she finally returned home to Florida with her son.
The only sensible thing to do was to bring him home if he in fact was released free and start over.
But that freedom was short-lived, and Christina Grayson hopes it's the last taste of freedom Kathan Guzman ever gets.
Yeah, man. So now we got to worry about things like that when we don't have the right type of people in the business, and like people that's looking at paperwork, DEI that's just like, oh, let me see your paperwork. Oh yeah, you can go over here. You can go over here. We need people to pay attention, because you could be letting out a murderer or somebody that really did something bad to somebody that crushed people's families. Pay attention to what you're doing, man. Letting people out like that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Back in the comments, y'all. What we got, y'all? Hey, VIP. What we got? DEI. Never know who let that fool out. VIP says, hey, happy Sunday, y'all. This is insane. She tried. Okay, what else we got? Angels Among Us says she's not the victim. Right, lady. Car Care says she's a criminal. What else we got? Casey Ramos says absolutely. Oh, man. Damn, you got to go, Noah. Bye. Boom. Keep on playing with that Diddy stuff. Keep on playing around, and you're going to have to go, man, because we got serious stories going down now. I just want to get through them because of how serious they are, and that's why I'm coming to the comments like this. Okay, Adolf, you still doing that? Okay. All right, VIP says his angel, hi Angel, hi Kendra. Well, we got Video Fiend, LOL, you think DEI is the issue? It's just about not teaching people to think critically, not DEI. Okay, good point. I'm talking about people that's not paying attention to paperwork and letting people out. So it could happen. They call it a clerical error. Let's just agree to say that, because we're going to move forward now. We got another serious story here about South Carolina. Haven't heard about nothing happening like this in a long time. I was going to skip this story. If you guys want me to skip it, I will, because it's basically the execution by firing squad of this guy named Mackey. He was on death row for like 20 years, and they finally decided to finish him off. Check this out. South Carolina, y'all in the building. Y'all know y'all be in here, so want you guys to see I'm going around. I'm going everywhere now. We're not just staying in one place. We got to keep it moving, y'all. We got to keep it moving. So now we going to South Carolina, and what they do, first time by firing squad in like 20 years that they executed somebody.
And earlier today, convicted murderer Michael Motti has been executed by firing squad. 42-year-old Michael Motti was convicted of killing Captain James Myers, an off-duty Orangeburg public safety officer, back in 2004. Motti is the second inmate to die by firing squad. He was officially pronounced dead at 6:05 p.m., 4 minutes after the shots were fired. He is also the 12th inmate executed in the U.S. this year and the 3rd here in South Carolina.
Yeah, that's that.
And earlier,
no, they saying that he didn't even ask for no specific dinner. They put the joint, they put the hood over his head. They covered his face. They went to the side off like an angle area that was off to the side, and they pulled back a curtain. They said not less than 30 seconds later, shots rang out. One pierced the he had I'm not gonna mark myself. He had like a bullseye over his heart. And they said that they saw that one of the bullets penetrated that bullseye, and that's the one that fatally took him out. They heard a deep yell, like a gasp. And then like later on, like 2 seconds later, they heard 2 more gasps, and they determined him that he wasn't alive anymore. So after 21 years, he's been executed by firing squad. Okay, guys, Utah still does it, I think. Little says it was at his request. A murderer, lucky he even get to choose. There you go, Lil. You're right. If he did something like that. Andrea says that's crazy that they still do that, right? Ain't it? Robert says what? Voted for Donald Trump. Car Care says do not kill. Chad C agreed. The mother could be in trouble. Car Care says evil equals live. Who is long? Probably not. As that point he was free. He was free, yeah. He was free at that point, right? Once they put that hot heat into him. Now, I don't know what's going on with this numbskull, this craziness that's going on here. Another one, y'all. We got this family of a 19-year-old she's a Target employee, and somebody basically came into her house, kicked in the door while the family was there, walked by the sister, and pow-powed this girl right in front of her family. This is crazy what's going on this week. I don't know where all these crazy stories coming from. I'm getting rid of them on one day, on Sunday. And yet, this is what's happening this week. I'm so sorry to be reporting this, but this is what's going on, y'all. This is actually information that's really happening.
Welcome to 11 Alive News at 4. I'm Jonathan Martin.
And I'm Faith Jesse, and we begun with that deadly shooting at a Covington Walmart. The Newton County Sheriff's Office says an employee there shot and killed one of his coworkers inside the store and injured another in the parking lot.
And then they say he drove about 1.5 miles down the road and shot and killed another employee. The gunman, Dwayne Etta, was arrested in South Carolina, but not before shooting himself. And that is where we find our Chase Howell tonight. Chase, what can you tell us about what happened earlier?
Jonathan, Faith, it's heartbreaking. The family of Akilah Clark, the woman who was shot and killed here, says the man kicked in their front door, chased her around the house, and then shot her to death in front of her mother while her sister hid in the closet. Just about 2 months shy of Akilah Clark's 20th birthday, police say she was gunned down by Dwayne Etta, who police say was her co-worker.
She's like how the sun shines.
Now this is ridiculous right here. People don't have no sense of love and respect for life. I heard it. I mean, no one cares anymore. Like, why would you do some craziness like this? First of all, he went into the Walmart and basically went what they call postal in there. Then he drove to this woman's house, kicked in her door, and did this. This is crazy.
Shining is probably her, like, that's literally what she was. She was just the light, like, she was the life of the party.
Natalia Edwards is Clark's aunt. She says that's Etta's shoe print on the front door from when he kicked it in before going into the home and shooting her niece.
And he came in her room and he went for her, like he walked right past my sister. He didn't even look in her direction. He didn't say nothing to her. He didn't point the gun at her. He didn't try to hurt her. He came for the target and he got his target, unfortunately.
One more to close. Meanwhile, at the Walmart Friday afternoon, customers and employees were being turned away after police say Ida shot 2 other co-workers earlier that morning, killing 21-year-old Khalif Barksdale and injuring 29-year-old Ryan Bradley.
It's like, where are you safe at? It's like, we're not safe at the store, and it's like, we're not safe at home. It's like, how are we going to be protected? It's like, we're not even protected by our own coworkers.
Jonathan Dormaville works the same overnight shift as Akilah Clark in a dub.
If the store was open, you wouldn't be able to see him the whole time in the store because he works in the very back. So I don't know, like, how, like, anything will happen. Like, how you would get in an altercation with anybody. It's like, something like that will only happen if you want it to happen.
So why did it happen? That's something police and everyone else are trying to figure out, leaving people to draw up their own conclusions.
We're not really sure of the details of like what's really happening, but from what we kind of know, there was like a problem going on at the job, at the workplace, and it just escalated.
Wow, it's just horrible, Chase. So do we know more about the suspect and where he is right now?
I hope he's in jail.
Yeah, Jonathan, as of about 2 hours ago, the Newton County Sheriff's Office says he's in a hospital in Augusta after he shot himself in South Carolina, where police found him after he allegedly shot his coworkers. Jonathan, Faith?
Our Chase Howell.
So he unsuccessfully tried to pow himself. And I guess that's basically what happened with that. So he went to the store, probably got into some stuff with the people at the job, and basically decided to get everybody. Probably thought about that, all premeditated from what I'm hearing. I want to know what you guys in the comment got to say about this stuff right here. Let's go. Sicko, right, Clark here? Sicko. Prince says, other day someone said to me, imagine what the world would be like if there was no USA. Peaceful. Okay. Stanley says, need more help. Preach. What else we got? We got Neanderthal. When seconds matter, police are minutes away. Okay, at Adam, no limit these days. None at all, right, Kendra? Mad Hatter says everyone should have some home defense. That's right. Everyone need home defense. He loves her if he is her in her room. Car Care says if he's in her room, he loves her. Adam Young says, I thought only mailmen could go postal. Okay, Adam, that's not funny. What else you got? Prince, did you just say PPL have to respect for life or not? Thought I'd hear Americans say those words. Okay, Prince. Mad Hatter says, yes, this is, yes, it is you on it, Bugatti. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Want to know how to stop this? I want to know too, Philip. I want to know too. Natalie, thank you for chiming in. Too much evil in people nowadays. And Philip says these people were targeted. It seems like to me that they were targeted, y'all, because he basically seemed like he went for the people. Like she said, the sister was right there and he overlooked her. Then the other one, I guess she ran in the closet. You know what that must feel like to see your sister get undown like that right in front of you? And then they talking about he in the hospital. Again, y'all agree with me? That's somebody that won't be in the hospital. He'd be somewhere else if it had to do with me and a couple of people I know in here. Right, Hatter? We'd have took care of him. Right, Hatter? Right, Chad? We'd have took care of him a different way. But hey, sorry to say this had to happen and this is terrible. I want to try to say we're going to pray for the family and everybody affected by this, everybody at the Walmart and all of the workers. We ask for this in Jesus' name and we amen. Pray for peace and we pray for calm closure. Thank you guys under the sound of my voice. I want you to, if you do appreciate the content that we have here, I really would appreciate for you guys to go ahead and get those likes up, share and subscribe. We're that close to 40,000 subscribers. That's our new mark and our new goal, you guys. I want you guys to see what happens when a private plane violates airspace near President Trump's Mar-a-Lago. I want you guys to see how fast these fighter jets come in, because there's been at least I think there's been a number of interferences and flybys when it comes down to Mar-a-Lago for the last couple of months. So the U.S. Air Force and Air Defense has been paying a lot of attention. I want you guys to see what happens when this goes down. What we got here? Let me see. Kendra says, can we get 100 likes, please? Stanley says, I forgot about all this education. What else we got here? We got Leah says, one love. Stanley says, what else we got? We got amen, amen, amen from Kendra. Thank you so much. Natalie, that's right, girl. Go for it. Black 999C, if no USA, we would all eat sauerkraut. All right, y'all. I want you guys to see what happens when you got your little plane flying, and you in the wrong part of airspace. I want you guys to see how it goes down, because this was something that was very, intriguing for me to see. Check this out.
It does, unfortunately, happen to you. Terry Parker, WPBF 20.
President Trump appears to be planning to return to Mar-a-Lago this weekend. According to the White House, Air Force One is scheduled to arrive at Palm Beach International Airport tomorrow afternoon. The FAA has also issued temporary flight restrictions over Palm Beach starting tomorrow.
Tonight, NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, warning that all pilots make sure they're aware of temporary flight restrictions surrounding Mar-a-Lago and anywhere else the president might be present. Investigative reporter Terry Parker just got a rare inside look at how the NORAD fighter pilots intercept pilots who violate that airspace. And Terry, they take all of these violations seriously.
They sure do, Tiffany. They're concerned because there have been 24 restricted airspace violations around Mar-a-Lago since President Trump has been in office, way more than in the president's first term. NORAD invited me to Homestead Air Reserve Base yesterday to see how the fighter pilots carry out these missions. With the help of the Civil Air Patrol, they staged an impressive simulation. If you're a pilot, you don't want this to happen to you. Imagine you're flying your private plane peacefully in the cloud-studded Florida sky when suddenly this happens. Right, that's an F-15 fighter jet giving you a heads up that something is very wrong.
Oh wow, that's enough to get your attention right there.
Let's look at it again in slow motion. The F-15 is a fully armed fighter jet flown by a NORAD pilot whose job it is to get unauthorized aircraft out of a temporarily restricted airspace, like the one over Mar-a-Lago every time President Trump is in town.
The whole point when we wind up having to intercept somebody is for us to be known and let that Cessna, that whatever airplane it is, know that an armed air defense fighter is pulled up alongside it.
When any unauthorized aircraft strays into the TFR area surrounding Mar-a-Lago, fighter jet pilots like these stationed at Homestead Air Reserve scramble.
You're almost a machine at that point. You're just running as fast as you can. Everything comes down to muscle memory really quick.
Within minutes, pilots are suited up in the cockpit and then taking off in an impressive show of military force. These jets can travel at supersonic speeds if needed.
So if an aircraft sees us fly up alongside it with our wings rocking, and then we go into a gentle turn into a direction, that's an intent to tell us to follow them.
Usually it's a mistake. The private pilot didn't check the TFR alerts the FAA requires they check before every flight, but it can be costly, resulting in fines, a grilling by the FAA and Secret Service, and even a loss of your pilot's license. And the fighter pilots can get increasingly aggressive if the private pilots don't immediately comply, even performing what's called a headbutt, flying right in front of the plane's nose.
I never have performed a headbutt in real life. Usually once people notice that there's a fighter pulled up on their wing, they get on the radio pretty fast and they become compliant pretty quick.
Yeah. And earlier this month, F-16s had to shoot off flares to get the attention of a private pilot flying over Trump International Golf Course while the president was there. These flights are armed and they're ready to use missiles if there is a real threat. So go to our website to find out what you should do if it does, unfortunately, happen to you.
Yeah, be careful where you're flying at, man, because if one of them F-14s or one of them F-18s fly up next to you, you already know you're in trouble. And like they said, you're going to get a grilling, they're going to pull you down, you're going to get investigated, all sorts of problems. I don't think y'all want that type of heat. I'm coming to the comments, y'all. Let's go. What we got here? Casey says a headbutt, pause. You know what that reminds me of, Casey? I think he's talking about chicken. Like when he play chicken with you and come as close to you as possible, right? Or because of the control of that F-18, did you see it was able to do this and like basically like almost float in the air? So that's probably what they're talking about, like get real close to you and be like, you know what I'm saying? But then it's got flares, they've got missiles, And you know they got guns, so if they wanted to, they can do it any kind of way that they want, Casey. Any kind of way that they want. I like that though. Kendra says, "What's up, Roxy? Carl, I want all the smoke." Carl said, "I want all the smoke." There you go. What we got, y'all? Human 2000 said 40 million playing golf. LOL. Casey says, yes, okay, they got everything. Okay, X Kitty says, haha, yes, they strapped. They strapped. They're like, yo, go get the strap, double X Kitty, go get it, right? Sue says, God bless our military. Philip says, please, they pull up on me just to see what guns actually look like. Ooh, okay. Okay, Philip. Okay, Philip. Philip ain't playing. He said he got them things. Philip said he got them things. You guys, if y'all appreciate the content, y'all got me up in here tearing. That means we got a good show going on. I mean, I got good feeling tears coming down. That means we got a good show going on, and I'm happy to be here, happy to have another day above ground, and that's what it's all about. Let's go ahead and have some more fun. I want you guys to see this crowd as they go wild as Trump enters the UFC. I wonder how much it costs for them to secure the UFC. I'm thinking about maybe guys in the rafters, maybe Secret Service everywhere. Also want to know what you guys think about that spendage. We haven't talked about that yet. I want to know what you guys have to say about it. There's certain spendages that have to be made and paid in order to secure the president, like i.e. when he goes to Mar-a-Lago and when he goes to places like this. So I want to know about that. Now, I'm not going to get struck after doing a whole show worrying about Kid Rock and them trying to strike me. Because they will definitely take all the work that we did if I play that too loud. But as you can see, our President Trump arrives at UFC Fight 314 in Miami, Florida. That's basically where he was already at anyway. You see, we've got RFK. I think that's his name in the crowd there. A lot of politicians are in the crowd right there. I'm sorry, RFK or JFK Jr. One of them are there. And then we've got, as you guys can see, his granddaughter's there. Also, what's his name? The owner of UFC, Dana White. Dana White's there. Everybody giving him hugs. Question is, guys, what do you think about the spendage for this? What are you thinking about the Secret Service that's needed to make sure that everybody is up to par, as well as, areas around? So this is the stuff that I wanted to leave us with and talk about today, because they did talk about the flights to Mar-a-Lago. Every time he goes down there, it's about $3.5 million. They did also bring up the fact that, the spendage is $154 million difference from when the Bidens were in. Somebody had an answer to that and said, well, Biden didn't know what he was buying anyway. So I get what you mean by that. I'm coming to the comments. I want to see what you guys got to say about this. Okay, y'all. Trump's the true OG. If you don't like him, you're bandwagon riding and in a pride parade. Dump Trump says, yeah. Prince says, why is this guy wearing the same suit as the pimp from Friday? Hey, good try, Prince. You got to keep on working, and we're going to keep on trying to work with you. And thanks for leaving a comment, okay? Okay, Human says, UFC doesn't pay the fighters they money they should. Twan42 says, big up Uncle Donnie. What up? We got can't be any worse spending watching the beach. Yo, that was a good one. Prior 82, 88. What we got here? Philip says, Prince Andrew has no idea what he's talking about. What we got? Not Cult says, that's how it works. They go where he goes. That's how it goes. Bryce says, it's a nice suit. Natalie says, why are you so obsessed with hating the host? I don't know. They ain't got nothing else better to do, Natalie. VIP says, Prince, there's no need to be rude. Okay, Leah, what are you trying to find out if the money should be spent elsewhere? AJ says, what do you expect? The prince was caught on Epstein Island. Okay, let's, he said he's not being rude. And not that many people said that he was being rude, so I don't want to get him out of here. Andrea, I voted for Trump, and I don't care what have to pay for worse. Bryce Morton says, yes, you are in love, LIB. Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of him. I got tough skin. Vineyard says, there's a massive difference between the Epstein Convention flight plane and the private jets that went to the island. You're talking about something else. Prince Andrew says, Epstein was from your lovely, peaceful land. Okay, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. Great conversation, and that's what we are here for information like that. But I also want to say to you guys, if you appreciate the content, let's go ahead and get those likes up. And we're trying to get to 40,000 subscribers. We already knocked down the 30,000 mark, and now we're knocking on the door to get to 40,000 subscribers to let more people know about our bottom line. I noticed a lot of new people here today, and you stayed with us, and that's phenomenal. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share, and let people know. Go ahead and double tap that screen and let people know what we got going on over here, because we are Our Bottom Line, the #1 show on YouTube in the 6 o'clock hour. Also, what I want to tell you guys right now is go ahead and make some money. Go into the description. We got surveys in there for up to $700. All you got to do is figure out a survey you want to do, fill it out. You're going to get some dough. I'm going to get some money from you filling it out, and all of us going to be happy. Also, if you got a business, you're a mobile barber, you got a grooming service, you actually do cooking or something like that, you got a mobile truck, send me your post link. I will put it up in the post area so all of us can see it and get you some more business going, because that's how we do it over here at Our Bottom Line. Last but not least, we have finally got the dates for Show Your Talent Show, which is coming to the New York tri-state area. Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. You come out, show me your talent. I'm going to be hosting this. That's right. Show me your talent at several locations. Boom, you're going to make $250. If it's the Bronx, if it's Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, all y'all make $250. Then what you do is we do a grand finale, and whoever wins that gets $1,000, right? $1,000. Sponsored by Big Drip, www.drinkbigdrip.com. 2 G's, 2 P's, and that's what we're doing in the month of May. I'm going to be hosting, starting off in New York, and then we're going to replicate the program in other states that we got family in. Yes, I'm going to be out there myself, introducing myself to you guys. Go ahead and let's see if we can make some money. I want to see your talent and what you guys can do. So that's the Show Your Talent promotion that's coming up in May. Been promoting it for a while because I want you guys to be a part of it and come out, get to meet me, and I want to give you guys some money because I want to see your talent. It's not just about singing, not just about dancing. It's not just about regular talent. I want to see expression, want to see art. I want to see other things. I want to see what talent you guys got going on. And what we're going to do, we're going to pay you to show us. It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Like I said, go to the website, subscribe, leave a message, and if you haven't done it already, become a member of the channel. We always look out for our members. We make sure we give you guys the proper merch. We send out those t-shirts. We got the nice hoodies. So we make sure that we take care of our people, and we already know that it's real out there right now. So real people that always show us love when it comes down to the brands, we always make sure that we look out for y'all. So we're gonna have a lot of merch, a lot of different promotional items coming up. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow because we do this every single day. Excuse me, the mic fell. Oh, we do this every single day. And like I told you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, because we do this every day, y'all already know what it is. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Get 'em! One. Yeah. Have a good one, y'all. Enjoy your day. Peace.